For those of you who don't know, my name's Selena, also known as Ina. And as of recently, I have started writing what is going to be my debut fantasy novel. Let's just say it out there, speak things into existence, all that jazz. Um, so yeah, I'm working on my debut novel, and I kind of wanted to bring you guys up to date on what I've been working on. So originally, I was just gonna write a romance book. Um, but then I started incorporating, more fantasy into it because I do read a lot of fantasy and I enjoy fantasy, and that it is my preferred genre, if I was to pick one. So yeah, I ended up going more the fantasy route, um, as I started building the world. And I don't want to say fantasy as in the generic fantasy world that everybody's probably used to. I really wanted to make this one my own interpretation of a fantasy world. For the manuscript, as of right now, is just called Project Deals. Um, I'm just gonna leave it at that for now. I don't want to go too into why at this time, but yeah, it may change. Who knows? Everything is fluid right now. Magical inspiration. Um, if you can't tell, I'm Puerto Rican. My grandmother and my mother were both born in Puerto Rico, but my mother came here when she was very, very young with my grandparents. So of her side anyway, that was born in America. Do I know Spanish? No. Should I? Maybe. Whose fault is that? Neither here nor there. It could be, being older, having kids, and really been struggling with some self-identity issues around my culture. Um, you know, growing up here but being Puerto Rican, it for some reason it just feels like there is a disconnect. It almost makes me feel like I'm a fraud at times. Um, so I kind of wanted to build off that idea with my main character. So my female main character, not trying to say that she's me because she's not mirror or reflection. But I really wanted to make sure that she was somebody that not only I can see myself in, but that other people who are like me could see themselves in. So I really wanted to bring that scope into the conversation. So, with that being said, I am not familiar with a lot of the, Taino customs and traditions and rituals. Like I said, I don't even know Spanish. So, is this going to be a learning curve for me? Absolutely. Am I ready for it? We're about to find out. But yeah, so I really wanted to have the entire magical sensical of everything, at least for the start, um, be catered to me expanding on Taino spirituality and creating a magic system around it. So this book and everything is going to be really personal to me, focusing on the story and themes that I want to tell for my story. So, I really want to lay heavily on the spirituality, the culture, self love, family, and, partner love. So yeah, I have been brainstorming a lot of that. I can go into detail. I have a binder and Google Docs that go over into a lot of the world building and research I've been doing. So I can go into more detail in another video on exactly what those topics are, so you guys can get a little bit of a sneak peek. But obviously, I'm new to all of this. I've never written a book before. I have been doing a lot of research from other, booktubers and everybody else. Trying to find, I don't know, programs. I've seen Notion, I've seen Scrivener, I've done research. I just don't know which one is best for me, my style. That is something that I am looking for. So feel free to maybe drop in the comments a program that you use, or if it's one of the ones that I mentioned, some of your key features that you use, just to, help me swing one way or the other, if that makes sense. Because I do find some of the platforms, they seem easy to use, so I just need to pick one. That is a Google Doc right now, and I really want to take it out of there. But yeah, like I said, I have started writing. I started my world building binder. I started some of my character sheets that I can introduce. And like I said in another video, I have some of my Pinterest mood boards that I can show you guys. Just so you guys can kind of get an idea of where my head is at. Like I said, a lot of this is fluid, so something that I can show you today might not get incorporated at the end, but at least this way you guys are here along for the ride. And if there's any of my, Caribbean people out there who want to help me with my research, feel free to drop those in the comment section as well. I'll definitely be looking heavily into those, just to make sure that I get the information right, and do it in a way that's tasteful, if that makes sense. So yeah, so Project Deals is underway. Like I said, the world is still being built. Characters are still being, nailed down. I started a prologue, not fully sold on it yet. I started chapter 1, scrapped it, restarted it. So yeah, for plotting, I am a type A personality, so I do like to have a plan. I'm not really a pantser of sorts. I am an over planner, if anything. So if you have like a preferred plotting method that I can try out, I've tested a couple. Like I said, I'm not sold on a lot. So at this point, I'm taking suggestions in the comment section down below for anybody who's just, already been through it. It really would help me out if you guys could give me some help. So in the meantime, I will continue researching. I will continue writing, and I'll just continue dreaming until it becomes a reality. Thank you guys so much for joining in, and stay tuned for more. I'm taking